right, so today we're talking travels and you know, the impact of vaccines and on travels, and would like to even understand what happened this year, because everybody in Nigeria, usually Nigeria is empty summer period, but I don't know what happened this year, so it'd be nice to analyze that. That's about it. That's about it. Travels is something that, I mean, a lot of people are asking, why are you going to have your job? Why are you having, it's not mandated, but I mean, everybody that knows me knows that I have family in France, you understand? And when you want to go get your tickets, like you want to travel, is bold there without a fully, so you're not even have vaccine, fully vaccinated, certificate, COVID, what's it called? Without that, you cannot, you cannot be admitted into France. So there are states that are coming up with those kinds of laws. Some countries too are coming up with those kind of laws. Yeah, so I don't know how the impact will be on travels. I know a lot of people that had to cancel their appointment because they didn't feel comfortable going to go and get the jab. So they say, I beg, I'd rather stay in my country. But for how long can you stay in the country?
There are people who aren't fans of traveling. They would, I mean, there are people like that. They would rather just stay at a place, and if they have to travel, then it's a necessity, not for fun, not for leisure, not like someone like me. And I would say this quote is very apt for me because I love traveling. If you want to curry me from any job, just tell me that this job is going to ensure that I travel to. Just give me the number of states, number of countries that I have to travel to, then I trust me, I'm definitely jumping on the offer. So I love the conversation we're having today. It will help people understand what the do's and don'ts are, because our guest from Monday was even mentioning something about some flights not coming into Nigeria or going out of Nigeria because of some foul play. I don't know if this is very proven in his allegations, some foul play in terms of testing and all that. So whatever it is, we need to understand what's playing in that space now, so we know where we can go. And where we cannot go with the small money we gathered this year. Absolutely.
So if you work in human resource industry, then you'd be familiar with talent acquisition. Talent acquisition is the process of hiring a professional for a needed company or resource. HR professionals have a keen eye when it comes to searching for the right kind of people for the right kind of job, which in that position can be difficult at times. That's why there's a day dedicated just to them, and it's called Global Talent Acquisition Day. Talent acquisition is a unique profession because they are not only skilled in sourcing tactics, assessment, and standards, but they also build employment brand standards for company to work off of. As a profession, it is closely aligned with marketing and many global organizations to recruit globally through talent acquisition specialists, and also and allow them to craft unique company messages to attract potential employees. So happy Talent Acquisition Day. This is actually very interesting. When I was reading this, I said, that's why you see that when certain companies are telling you about their brand image, their brand whatever, so they would always align those with not only the people they employ as employees, even the brand ambassadors that they get. So you're able to tie up and
everything together.
And I think it also helps your field, right?
Yeah, it does. And I think that for those in human resource, like you mentioned, their job is becoming very, I mean, it's always a soft skill, but with the pandemic and people embracing work from home and all, it becomes a special kind of skill. Because I was reading something somewhere where someone was talking about, I think the conversation started from people complaining about those working from home not meeting up the target, and they feel like if you're not in the space, like a confined space where they can see you, that people cannot work. And someone in some top management in a company was saying that if the people you employ cannot deliver working from home, then the problem is with you who employed them, or probably their manager. Something is missing somewhere. So I think their job has become more difficult, because aside from finding people who would align, you also have to get people who are ready to evolve with the world as it evolves. Because beyond pandemic, we are going digital, tech tools. You have to be able to just think on your feet, and your intuition becomes a big deal to stand for, like you said, what the company stands for. So,
absolutely.
kudos to them.
Absolutely. All right. So we've lost a lot of time. So tell us what you found in the news today.
Okay. So the first one I think I need to mention is that so according to Nigerian Meteorological Agency, 3 coastal states, that's Cross River, Akwa Ibom, and Delta, are to experience heavy rainfall in the next 3 days. Also, there are chances of moderate heavy rainfall over the parts of Niger, Kwara, Oyo, southern Kebbi, Kaduna, Plateau, Taraba, southern Adamawa, Rivers, Bayelsa, Lagos State, and Ondo State, and I think southern part of Osun State as well. As a result of this, there are chances of flash flooding over roads, low-lying settlements, streams, and river channels. So let's get ready, and if your drainages around you is blocked, begin to do something to ensure that is clear, because I mean, I like that we have this kind of information so that people can plan, because we know we suffer flooding in most of the states. Lagos State is in it as well.
People hardly take these kinds of warnings seriously. So that's my problem. It's not like they've always told people that, you know, but they will now ask you a question: where do we go to? I don't have an answer. Yes, they've always warned.
This is the first time I'm seeing it on a national daily.
They always.
My weather report I get usually from Google. Like I get a pop-up and I get.
I remember a particular year, Lokoja was going to be flooded, and they kept on shouting that this place will be flooded. This place will be flooded. The people refused to move, and like when the flood came,
it was heavy.
It was bad.
So there
was always the conversation will always be, where do you want us to go to? Where do you want us to go to? So maybe I think again, alongside, maybe the government should just start to create holding areas where you can actually go there and wait for a while until I don't know.
I like your optimism. But my second story is my able president Muhammadu Buhari. He sacked 2 ministers, Minister of Agriculture and Minister of Power. The ministers were sacked after an independent and critical they shall check them, performance. Let me put it like that. Before they say, I say what I'm not supposed to say. But to replace them is Dr. Mohammed Mahmoud Abubakar. He has been redeployed from Minister of Environment to Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, while Engineer Abubakar Aliyu will assume office as Minister of Power. So, and these 2 are the first people he's ever sacked since resuming office in 2015. So, I guess they were really below par in performance.
I have questions, but I'll keep my reservation.
Okay.
Because a lot of people are asking that, is he just realizing that some of these ministers are actually not functioning? Like they are not working. Why is it that all of a sudden he's sacking 2 now? That we've always been complaining about certain ministries that we believe that they're not delivering on the job. So how come those ones haven't been sacked? You know, so we do not know why. But he gave a reason. Did you read that article?
What part?
I don't know. The one he was talking.
There wasn't a direct reason. It's basically, performance below par. They had the metrics where they checked the whole ministries, and I think these 2.
We need to check that metrics.
They've not given us the key points of the metrics. So it's basically vague reasons. We can't say this is the exact reason, because, like you said, if we want to look at all the ministries, okay.
Minister of Works and Housing. That's the story I have today. It says federal government will consider national housing bond. According to the minister through his spokesperson, it says the government involvement in sorry, just give me a minute. I'm trying to pull out what he said. He said, this is something I have been discussing with a lot of his colleagues. He's been trying to liaise with the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, who are in charge of fiscal policy, and hopefully they will be able to engage the Governor of Central Bank, who controls the monetary policy. So what they want to do is provide housing bonds, right, for developers so that they can access housing and the housing deficit that we have in the country. They can create some of this housing project at reasonable rates, you know, which is what, you know, a lot of people have been talking about. There's something, can I quickly find that, because I think I'm rushing, so I didn't keep that. It says, okay, so that the story is that the housing challenges are being tackled on multiple fronts through government and private. So they are going to do private partnership and government initiative, and that's how services are delivered around the world. That's what he said. So he emphasized that the private sector, he emphasized the role of the private sector and added that the government cannot tackle housing challenges on its own. So they want to be able to bring in private sectors into the housing deficits that we have in the country. So if he is able to get the buy-in of those other ministries, then maybe it will come to those private people at cheaper costs, and at the end of the day, you and I can access, housing at cheaper cost. We have a huge housing deficit in this country, so hopefully, if this works out, we'll say kudos to them. All right, so we'll take a break now. When we come back from the break, we're going to be discussing travels, right?
Surviving COVID-19.
Yes, so stay with us. We'll be right back.